Oh, where are they going? They're going towards the pool. That's not a good idea. You guys can't swim in the pool. We have a wild berry tree here, and squirrels have been in here, and obviously the birds eat it, but it's just rained, and some of them are falling on the ground, so, you know, I'll eat them. And these are a little too far out for the squirrels to get to anyway, so I'll get what I can reach. In the basket. Yum. There's a squirrel hanging out in the park by all the people. Just looking for different food to eat. Run up the tree. I'll find something to eat. He's enjoying his fourth. You got a good treat? 4th of July. Came to Cedarburg Park. And it is fairly empty. There weren't really even any booths of food or anything. But there's Wayne and Cassie. And the squirrel. So I told him I'd come take some pictures by the water. Some pretty water. Nice little waterfall. Finding good snacks. Alrighty, we're home. I must say, this is one of the most disappointing 4th of Julys that we've ever gone out. I knew that the park near us, we looked it up and they did not have a parade today. And I believe it's because of the construction that's going on. So one of the main roads that the parade goes down that leads to the park is like halfway all torn up. One side is all torn up. And so I kind of figured, okay, well, maybe that's why they're not having the parade, but they said festivities started at 4. And so I kind of thought, oh, all right, so that's fine. Being 90 degrees today, 4 o'clock's a good time to go out. It should be starting to get cooler. Although it was funny, as I was sitting at the computer and watching the temperature go up and up, it was, 89, and then it was 90, and then like at 2 o'clock it was 91. And then by like 4 o'clock it was 92, and I'm like, ugh. And then Wayne thought he saw rain was going to come in, so we kind of waited too, because that was supposed to be between 3 and 4. And then that didn't happen. And so I was like, all right, well, what the heck? Let's try to go out, and we'll see what we see. If anything, like I said, we'll get some, just pick up some food, whether it be, tacos. There's supposed to be a couple food trucks there. And they usually have like a corn roast booth. So they have the corns and the cobs that they dip in their, vats of butter. And I forgot what else they sold at the table, because we've bought that before. They may have had brats and hot dogs and stuff at that stand. And then Cassie gets her slushie. They have one of those, kind of like the ice cream cart type push carts, or, the trucks, I guess the food truck. And they sell slushies. And she loves that. And so every year that's kind of been her thing. Well, even last year I know it was too hot, and we didn't go out. And the year before that is when I was just kind of laid up on the couch and healing and stuff. So we didn't go out. So I guess it's been 3 years since we've actually been out for the 4th of July. So we got to the park, and they had 2 food trucks. One was tacos. One was, I forget, something else that I thought, okay, either way. Maybe it was like pulled pork. Okay. And then they had just like a little ice cream stand. So again, the guy had his little setup cart. He had an umbrella there. I just kept him in the shade. His cart was like in the sun, but so be it. More important, I guess, that he was in the shade. And yeah, and that was it. And then I think there was a beer tent. I'm like, okay, well, no slushies. And as far as getting food, I'm like, oh, okay. He had looked up that another park had stuff going on, and that started early. And I think it started after the parade. I think the Cedarburg, where we were for the Strawberry Festival, they have their parade today. And that starts early in the morning. That's one of the longest parades in the state. And like I mentioned before that we walked in that one time. And again, many, many years ago, obviously, but even after walking in that, I know that, the parade festivities didn't start until the parade was actually done. But I believe, my memory, is that they had a whole bunch of different tents set up in this park area. So again, all the foods, the drinks, even some stands that were selling some things. And I was like, okay, so we thought, well, let's go there and try that one out and see if we could find a slushie. And so we go there, and that's again, it's dead. Even the park by us, and there was like hardly any people there. I'm like, wow, okay. And we go to this other park thinking again, okay, well, this one, because they have such the biggest parade and everything, everybody's just going to hang out afterwards. And yeah, there was a stand set up probably for like the, what do you call it, the Lions Club type thing. So they have a bunch of tables set up. And they were selling brats and hot dogs and hamburgers and some sodas and chips. So, and I think they had beer too. So they had that. And there was a beer tent off to the side. There was cotton candy. And there's lemonade. We passed the lemonade truck type stand first. And Wayne was going to get lemonade right away. And I was like, well, let's see if there's food. Let's see if there's a different, a slushy stand or whatever. Or I could have went for another one of those strawberry spritzers, but I knew it was pretty special. It's not really a regular thing that people sell. Yeah. So we, like I said, we looked. So there was, yeah, the lemonade, the cotton candy, the brats, and the beer tent. And a few hundred people, maybe 100 people. I mean, it was just like, wow, okay. So I got a brat, and Cassie got a hot dog, and Wayne got a double burger. He got a soda, and then he got, Cassie and I got the lemonade. I got a strawberry lemonade. Came in the same container like we got at Strawberry Fest, so I don't know if it was really the same people or not. But also kind of funny, I don't know if you could see, but that, yeah, there's seeds. We're walking to the car, and I drinking, and I get some chewy in my mouth. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, bits of it up. I'm thinking, because I've had boba drinks type thing before, and I guess I had that in my mind too, that's been also at the park. And so I'm kind of chewing, and I'm like, wait a minute, this drink doesn't have chewables in it. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's a hunk of lemonade. And I'm kind of chewing, so I'm like, that's real bitter. And I'm like, that's a seed. Like, let me spit that out. So kind of too funny that then when I get them, I look, and I'm like, oh, there's more seeds in there, so I need to be careful to not get any seeds. I thought, interesting. Didn't think about that with my last drink. Didn't even worry about it. Nothing happened either. So I don't know if they had a different type of a strainer or anything that may have strained those out, or if I just got lucky and I didn't get any seeds last time. But this time with the brat, I'm like, man, even though I didn't taste strawberry in the other brat was just so good and so juicy and tasty. And this one was like, yeah, it's brat. It's okay. With Cassie, how's your hot dog? She's like, yeah, I've had better. So it's like, okay. But, just funny. Here we tried two different places, and both of them, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's the heat, because it is 90 degrees out, so maybe people got heated out with the parade. Because again, if you're sitting in the sun and you're sitting there for hours and, upper 80s, 90 degrees, that takes a lot out of you. Maybe people just wanted to be in air conditioning for a while until fireworks tonight or something. That we shall see. But that's that. Oh, the air conditioner update. The gentleman came yesterday. In the meantime, like the air conditioner was working, and the furnace started sounding more normal. So I'm like, okay. I asked Wayne, I'm like, should I cancel the call? And he's like, nah, it's already, it's already there. They're already coming, so just let them come and check it out and see what he sees. I'm like, okay. It's kind of what I thought too, because again, 4th of July weekend, even if it's okay now, it may still poop out, tomorrow being today, being Friday type of thing, or over the weekend. So a nice gentleman came out, and he checked my unit. We have an in-garage unit, which they don't make anymore, and all that too. So when this air conditioner goes, we have to get an outside freestanding type unit. So it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But again, knowing that, thinking, well, start thinking of, saving up for that or whatever when that happens. He checked the unit. He checked I think it was the compressor. And then when he's like, well, it's operating at like 20% efficiency or something. And then he checked this other part, which was like a jump start motor, a hard start motor. So he's like, well, obviously they put this in there because they thought that, the unit needed that to help get the motor started. And it almost looked like, it reminded me of a like a kaleidoscope tube. I don't know. It's still a good 7 inches long, 6, 7 inches, whatever. And he was kind of tilting it, and it was making that sound like there was, little pebbles in there or something. It was kind of like, and he goes, I don't know why this is making noise. So he goes, I happen to have 2 of these, units with me, so we can check that out. This one's going to cost $190. This one's $200 something or other, and then your $190 for the service call. He goes, so you're looking at $500 something, and I'm thinking, okay. And so in the meantime, he had to put something back together to check the Freon to make sure that wasn't freezing up, because he thought that might be happening too. But he did. He got his new parts and he put those on, and then I started up the air conditioner and he checked the Freon, and he goes, yeah, actually the Freon's fine. He goes, it's not freezing up, so that's good. So he's like, it's up to you. Do you want to go with this? Do you not? And so there too, it was very nice. It was not high pressure. It wasn't, whatever. And so I was like, yeah, that's fine. We'll do this. And he's like, okay. He's like, because either way, he goes, otherwise you might only last, a couple days. It might crap out on you on Monday. He goes, or you might get 1 to 3 years out of this. So I'm like, okay. I have more, better chances of getting 1 to 3 years out if I have new parts. So we went ahead with that. And then he checked my unit in the basement just to check the blower motor and all that. And he was like, yep, that was running fine. He checked my filter. We just said, yeah, we just changed that at Daylight Savings Day, so a couple months ago or so. So yep, that was still looking clean. Everything looked good. He's like, yeah, you're good. He goes, oh, do you have a hose outside? He goes, I'll wash that down for you too. It's because I was also his last call. When he got here, he was like, yeah, you're my last call for the day. And I'm like, oh, so I said, I'm glad you could fit me in. Thank you for coming. And yeah, you're my last call. Because they pushed him hard on Monday and Tuesday. They had to work, over 8 hours. They worked up to, 9, 10 hours that day. Each of those days. And then yesterday he said they let him go by like 1 o'clock-ish. Something like that. And then yesterday he's like, I was his last call. So he'd be able to go at like 1 o'clock-ish. And so he was, happy about that. He didn't have any plans for today. He was just going to hang out in his cool house. But so I asked him too, while he was putting everything back together, I said, just out of curiosity, what does a freestanding unit cost? And he's like, around $5,500, $6,000. He was, again, just so keep that in mind, so you know. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we were thinking. But in any case, our air is working, and that's wonderful. So the house is good. In the shade here, it's not bad for me. Although Cassie said she was pretty good. In the shade, she was okay. Wayne's hot. But then he also wore a hat again because of the sun shining, and so he's sweaty. So we got home here, he went and took a shower. And I said, well, I'm going to film an update. So I don't know, so we'll go out for fireworks. We'll probably just put some on TV. Kind of done that before too, so we can watch them in the comfort of our own home and have our food and drink right here. Yeah, especially, I don't know, kind of seeing as this afternoon was kind of so disappointing. I mean, I'm sure fireworks are fireworks. Whatever show they're going to have is going to be, again, I would think the same. If I haven't been out in 3 years and this much has changed, I don't know. But in any case, yeah, we'll see if we can find probably something else and be inside. Be in that air conditioning. So I told, Cassie again, here we go, little throwbacks to Korea where, first of all, it's all hot. Secondly, while we were at the park, there was a kid that broke out his guitar and started playing, so they were busking. And they had that in Korea. They would go and they'd see their street performers and stuff. So she took a picture of that and sent it to her sister. Hey, look, got this going on. But anyways, birdies flying around. There was, that squirrel in the park. I got some footage of that. That was too cute. He was just hanging out. I'm like, all these people around. And there's you one squirrel. Hanging out, finding some little treats. There was a family a little bit behind there. I don't know, it looked like a mom and dad and like a couple girls, a couple kids. So I don't know if they were throwing some food out to them or not. I mean, they're far enough away from the squirrel, so I don't know if they noticed them. Maybe they did. Maybe they were throwing some little bits of food to him. He was eating something or other. But I thought that was cute. He was enjoying himself, having a good 4th. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good 4th. I hope you had some fun. A couple of you responded on my video from today, from Strawberry Fest, that you're spending some time with family. So I hope you're all enjoying the day. I hope you have good weather and having some kind of fun, having some good food. Anyways, yeah, we've got a couple days to go. I've got a girlfriend in town. She just invited me out, so we're trying to make plans right now, trying to meet up tomorrow. So there's still another update or two I will do before ending this video. But in any case, hope you're having fun today. Happy 4th. Happy Saturday. Woot woot. My girlfriend is in town from Florida, And I wished her a happy 4th, and she was like, hey, are you busy tomorrow? And I was like, no. And so she said, how about we get together? Cool. So she invited a couple of friends out. A couple of them couldn't make it, but we had a nice group. There's 4 of us. So that was a good amount that we were able to talk and each be able to have time to talk so we could catch up with what's going on with each other. So that was very nice. And it was a restaurant not too far away from my place, which was also nice. I didn't have to travel too far. It's warm out though. It is like 90 degrees out with 60% humidity, 70% humidity, something like that. So it's humid, it's hot. The restaurant's air conditioning wasn't really working, so we were all kind of sweating there, taking the napkin, dabbing the face a little, because one of the waitresses had a neck fan on, another waitress had a cold rag around her neck, so whether the air is just not really working, whatever, if it's needing to be fixed or what, because obviously it seemed these people knew enough to have things to help them get through the heat. It wasn't like it was just a today thing. But it was good food, really good food. I decided to have my regular waffle. I was only going to eat half of it, and then I'm like, gosh, I really want to take half home, and it's kind of going to get mushy, and like we'll see. After 3/4, I'm like, I'm kind of full. I'm like, all right, got the whole waffle down, but when I have stuff like that or food out of the restaurant like the other two, that's like 2 meals for me. So that was my breakfast and lunch. I won't have food again basically till dinner, so not bad. Have it be 2 meals worth. So that was very nice. It was a very, very nice meetup. I never know, because when my girlfriend comes up, like I said, from Florida, her mom lives here, and her whole family's here really. So they always have get-togethers with the family and things like that. So it's always nice if she has some time available to be able to meet up, because obviously family comes first. She's got to meet with them and do what the plans are with all of them. But so this was good plan. And then Cassie is going to go visit over by Mom's today. Don't know if they've been there yet or not. Usually we head over by 1-ish. So I told Wayne, seeing as this is early enough, that I might be home at a time that I will go over with them, because otherwise just the 2 of them are going to go over. So whenever Cassie was readying up for it. Silly girl, still acclimating. She ended up staying up all night. She took a nap from, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 6 o'clock yesterday until like midnight, and she woke up. And I woke up this morning and look, her bedroom door was still open, type of thing, and I'm like, well, it's kind of too early for her to be awake. And I went downstairs, and yeah, she's still up. And I'm like, did you even go to bed last night? And she was like, oh, what makes you say that? So then she's gonna try to stay up pretty late today, stay up for the day and stuff. So she took a shower this morning. Like I said, we'll go visit my mom, so that they could talk for a little bit. So Mom will be able to see Cassie. She hasn't seen her yet since she's been back. They'll be able to visit a little, and then don't have any plans for this afternoon. Wayne did buy a steak at the store, because that's one of Cassie's favorite things. So he did find steak today while he was shopping, and figured, well, why not? We'll buy that and see what Cassie wants, and if she wants it today or tomorrow. And then he'll use that tabletop grill that we have. I said he'll go outside and grill it out there, so the grease spatters and all that will just be outside. It will be a little bit less cleanup. So that's the plan for later. And I just realized I had you in the air conditioning vent, so hopefully you hopefully you heard all that, or else I'll re-record it later. Garden update. Tomato plants are doing well. My tomatoes growing nicely. Got that one there. I had some flowers on that one, so we'll see if they grow some tomatoes. My cucumber plant is really spreading out, growing well. I have some beans growing on this plant. Got some there. Oh, there was one, and like I saw a couple on the back side. And I've got some peppers going. And one there. The squirrels have been pretty much leaving this alone, so that's nice. I've had another area of digging has been kind of in between the tomato plants here, but other than that, we're good. Happy Monday. I should use my table here. So the excitement of the day is that, well, we just had our power come back on. We had a power outage. Interesting. So somebody must have hit some pole or something, because it's only, was it like 75 degrees or something this morning? So it's not like we're having the heat wave like we did all weekend where it was in the 90s. Today is actually cooler, so that's very nice. But the power went out by probably 10 o'clock-ish, because I was thinking I was going to put a video on and exercise, and everything went off. Bad thing being that, so Mom texted and said, yeah, power's out, and so her chair was not working. I'm like, oh, that's right. Good and the bad of the Power Lift chair. It's wonderful that it helps you, get up, and be able to lay back and all that. Basically help assist you, to stand up though. She has trouble doing that a little bit. So when the power is out, then you don't have that. There's battery backup, so I thought, well, I wonder how come the battery backup isn't working. And I thought, I wonder how much power electric chair takes. Like, how much can a battery really do? So I went over to check it out, and found the battery pack and everything, and the light was still green, so then the batteries were there. I was able to, I took one of them out, just making sure, like, are they plugged in correctly? But it's a 9-volt battery, so they have it where one of the pegs is like really small and round, and one of them is bigger and kind of crunchy. What would you call it? Thick. So you can only plug those in one way. So I'm like, okay, yeah, they were plugged in correctly, and I thought we had tested it when we first plugged them in. So who knows? So today, it ended up that I found the paperwork for the chair, and when I read the instructions about the battery backup, it says that it is good for one revolution or something. So basically, if the chair is reclined, it's good for getting one revolution, like to sit up in an upright position, and then you have to replace the batteries. So it's like, oh, interesting, but good to know. I kind of figured that, yeah, those little batteries aren't going to be able to keep powering the chair to go back and forth and stuff. That they don't have that much juice. So now we know, but now we'll need to replace those batteries. So I guess happens again. We don't have power outages often, although it's funny because we did just have one, I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, something, which again was just odd. So there's that. So in the meantime, yeah, I sat there and visited for a while. Mom had a blood draw happen, so the nurse came in and did that. So there's enough light in her place and stuff, which is good that she was able to do all that without the power. And then there's something, what she was doing didn't need to have power. But anyways, so yeah, now after, I'm home here, it's probably like noonish. I'm like, ooh, I can maybe now exercise and then have breakfast. Which again will be lunch. It was like yesterday, I think I had my breakfast at 1:30 or whatever. I'm like, yeah. So I just had a salad. Figured, we'll just make it lunch, which I'll probably do today too. Other than that, not much going on. Yesterday, what did I do? Saturday, I did some footage Saturday. I'd gone out with my girlfriend who was up from Florida. And then yesterday, I asked Wayne, I was looking in the kitchen for a couple different things as far as, I'm like, did you buy yogurt? No. Did you buy slivered almonds? I'm like, are they in a different cabinet? I'm not seeing them. No. I'm like, did you look at the back sheet of the grocery list? And, ant on me. Oh, another ant on me. Okay. Sitting still for too long. And he's like, yeah, no, I guess that would be a no. Because the other items, if there's items missing, then, and I'm like, okay. I thought about writing over on the front of the grocery list, but I'm like, oh, he always knows to turn the sheet of paper over and look at it. And I guess he did not. So he's like, oh, if you need stuff, let me know. We'll go. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, yay. I'm glad again that he was willing to go shopping again, and he's up for that, and it was fine. And then Mom had also texted that the suet was now gone. It was not on Saturday, but the birds had finally found it and ate it all up. And so could we come replace the suet and water the plants, because that's my job. Wayne does some of the other stuff, and then it's my job to water the plants. So I thought, yeah, okay, we need to stop there too. So we did that. It was raining on and off yesterday. So I'm like, okay, the rain stopped. We went over there and got the plants watered, and then we ran to the grocery store and picked up the items that I needed. That was nice. Went to a different store than we usually go to. Went to Sendik's, just because it's a little bit closer and and all that. Didn't feel like going all the way out to our normal store. We only needed a few items. So it was good. Wayne found some good food that he wanted to pick up for dinner. I saw some veggie egg rolls, and I was like, oh, I haven't had those in a long time, so I'll have those tonight. He had his yesterday. He picked up some pesto pasta and some mashed potatoes, and he enjoyed that. I had my leftover spaghetti and meatballs, because I still have those to eat. And Cassie slept most of the day. She fell asleep again at 4. She went over on Saturday and visited with Mom, and they had a really good visit and stuff, and Mom told me again today how much she appreciated that. It was a good talk. And then yesterday she fell asleep probably by, like I said, 4:30. So I let her go. I've been waking her up by 8 to try to stay up again and then go to bed early. Like, she'd still be tired, so she'd go to bed at a normal time. And I thought, whatever, I'll let her sleep. She might wake up at midnight, because then it'll be like 8 hours that she'd been sleeping, and then she'll want to be up again and still be off time. But she said she ended up waking up at like 2 o'clock, 2:30, and then she went to bed, and then she was up at 6. So at least that's more of a normal time. So we're getting there, but tomorrow she has a dentist appointment, and then Wednesday she starts work, so by then she'll be back to being on normal time. But other than that, beautiful day out, so yeah, do my stuff, and I don't think there's rain in the forecast for today, so I will wait for Wayne to come home, take our walk. Funny that the last few days that I've been walking, the dive-bombing bird had not been around. Yesterday when Wayne and I walked, though, I heard the bird, and I was like, oh, okay, I hear him in the area. And then I saw him on the rooftop. I'm like, well, we'll see what happens. If he's, sure enough, as we kind of got past him, he kind of came down behind us and, yelled. And only once, but I was like, okay, he's back. I thought maybe the babies had been born and flew the coop, and so he didn't have anything to protect anymore. But no, he got us again yesterday. So see what happens on today's walk.